That is why he says, Nashto moha smritir labdhva tat prasadat mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha. Now I don't have any doubts. And where there is no doubt, there is faith. So faith is a state of where you have no doubts. When you have some faith, you don't have any doubt. I remember a story that a newly married couple were going in a ship. Suddenly the ship entered a typhoon, a tufan. Everybody was running here and there, here and there, here and there. And this gentleman, the husband, was sitting quietly and trying to read because it is lurking and jumping, therefore he is not able to read, but he is trying to read some novel. His wife became very angry. You see, all these fellows are dancing and jumping and doing all this, and you are just trying to read a novel. He heard for some time and he took a dagger, put it on his wife's neck and said, "Are you afraid?" She said, "No." She laughed and said, "Throw away that knife first. What nonsense you are doing." He said, "You are not afraid?" "No, I am not afraid." "Why?" "Because I have faith in you. You won't kill me. The same faith I have in the God. The weather though so turbulent, I have faith in God. So what should you do? Sit and read a novel." Not saying that you have faith in God and then abusing Him for what you are not getting. Got the point? And at its secret of dynamic and not only static, identity with inner presence is its highest mystery of absolute surrender to the divine guide, Lord and inhabitant of our nature is the central secret. So the central Purusha, the central being, what Sri Aurobindo calls our Jivatma, and then the soul and the Chaitya Purusha, 3 in 1, is what he says, the divine guide. And that has been revealed in Gita also. But how that presence can be brought down is not revealed. Free expression out of a supreme inward silence is the secret. This, whatever I have written it in these capitals, are mantric in nature. This is our goal. You go on repeating it. You should express yourself physically. You should express yourself vocally. You should express yourself in thoughts, but in silence. Next. The mind rides on the swirl of natural forces, balances on a poise between several possibilities, inclines to one side or another, settles and has the sense of choosing, but it does not see. It is not even dimly aware of the force behind that has determined its choice. Now, this is the best exercise you can have in your day-to-day life. You choose every time. Whenever you choose something, are you aware of the force behind which has determined its choice? Think over those things. This is an exercise to be practiced. Any choice, somebody offers you a Coke, and you say, "No, I don't want a Coke, I want Pepsi." This differentiation is not because there is a swirl of natural forces in you and you think that your desires are controlling that particular action, but there is something behind it which has determined its choice. If you can be aware of that force, half of the battle is won. Behind these petty instrumental actions of the human will, there is something vast and powerful and eternal that oversees the trend of inclination, presses on the turn of the will. This is most important. Every little thing we do is based on will. If you don't want it, you can't do it. Am I clear about that? You do because You will it to do it. But unfortunately, we don't know what willing is. That is what in our Puja Vidhana and others we say as the Sankalpa. The Sankalpa is the divine will. He has decided that this process must go on. The only plus point we as human beings have is to we can speed up the goal towards which you are going. You just can't change the steps of evolution, but you can grow it very fast, and a child's birth is the best example of this force of evolution. 200 years back, a child was born. The entire evolution was behind him. Now after 200 years, a child is born. Don't you think that behind this child, the 200 years extra evolution is there? Am I clear about that? So, this is a normal time scale evolution. But suppose you can speed up the evolution. Then what happens? You who were born with this present stage of evolution behind you can have the entire goal of evolution behind you. Then what happens? It becomes yoga. Another birth. Am I clear about the birth? Behind every birth, the evolution up to that point is there. If you have a 6th generation computer and a 1st generation computer, the evolution behind the 1st generation computer is only up to 1940s. And now you have a new computer, the evolution is up to 2000. But now you suppose you can evolve in a very fast rate. That becomes yoga for a new birth in evolution. That is what he says. Behind these petty instrumental actions of the human will, there is something vast and powerful and eternal that oversees the trend of inclination and presses on the turn of the will. And if you are interested, you can keep it in capital. The turn of the will is a very beautiful word with so many possibilities in it. You turn the will, you turn yourself to any direction. Next. This is the power or presence meant by the Gita when it speaks of the Lord within the heart of all existences, who turns all creatures as if mounted on a machine by the illusion of nature. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hruddeshirjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. If you allow nature, the Maya will control you. The evolution proceeds as it should proceed. But if you are a yogi, the actions must differ. The yoga of works, how you do the works must differ in their orientation, in their turn. Am I clear about the word turn? You have to turn. Ordinarily, he has too much in him of the obscure earth inertia, and this earth inertia can be controlled only by asana and pranayama. These are my words, they are not Sri Aurobindo's. What I have given in brackets, Sri Aurobindo has not told them. But the earth inertia you can conquer only by asanas and pranayamas. And a troubled, ignorant animal force, you can control this animal life force in us by jnana, karma, bhakti and Raja Yogas to be a soul of light and bliss, or even a mind of the harmonious will and knowledge. So that is where I am trying to tell you that you just can't neglect asanas, pranayamas, jnana yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga and Raja Yoga. But not only you have to utilize them with the turn of your will towards the supreme goal.